I'll be the moderator for this section. I'd like to address everyone in this community as wealth builders, because what you hear today is not just information, it's knowledge that can help you avoid costly mistakes and set you on the right path to building wealth through real estate. So, but before we go any further, please let's make this interactive. Let's type in the chat section where you're joining from and how your day has been so far. So where are you joining from and how's your day been? All right, please let's use the chat bar. Where are you joining from and how's your day been? All right, Canada. For some strange reason, I can't access my chat, the chat bar. But thank you for your comment. All right, thank you. So before I introduce our speaker, we have like a few housekeeping rules just to keep this section running smoothly. So please mute your mic throughout this section, and during the question and answer segment, you can request to speak or use the chat. So if you can hear me clearly, please just type yes in the chat bar. If you can hear me, please type yes in the chat bar. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. So today's section is titled seven costly land investment mistakes for investors buying from 10 to 20 acres and above. So this section will help you understand hidden mistakes investors make when acquiring like large portions of land, and how to avoid expensive decisions that many people regret later. So please stay to the end of this segment, because you wouldn't want to miss out on the last part. We're going to share like important details, and you wouldn't want to miss out of it. And I'll introduce the speaker right now. Is Dr. Azan, and I'll tell you a few things why you should stay to the end or listen. So Dr. Azan is the CEO of buyacres.ng, and he's a real estate strategist, and he has over 10 years experience in land investment. He has also trained over 10,000 realtors and investors, and he has supported the growth of more than 20 successful real estate developers. So today, Dr. Azan will be sharing with us practical insights on costly mistakes to avoid while investing in land. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Azan. And Dr. Azan, over to you. Thank you.
Consola, good evening. Mr. Emmanuel, Phoenix, Jayla, Uzo Namdi. Good evening, everyone. And I want to appreciate you for joining the call early. We are expecting about 45 people on this call, because over 140 people registered to be part of this webinar. And by that, it means at least 20% are supposed to be on this call. And I can't appreciate you enough for being punctual and joining early. So we're not going to wait for anyone. As you noticed, we started 7 on the dot. So today we are going to be looking at 7 costly mistakes that keeps people poor, especially in the areas of land banking. And as Oyi introduced, My name is Dr. Hassan Ismail. I'm a real estate entrepreneur here in Lagos, Nigeria. So the topic before us today is land banking in Nigeria, 7 costly mistakes. The 7 costly mistakes. There should be a mistake on this slide. 7 costly mistakes that keep people poor and how to prevent that. So we are going to run over the slides quickly, and at the end of the presentation, I'll be glad to take your questions. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the room and you can hear me loud and clear, all I need to see is your favorite emojis. Just give me 1 or 2 favorite emojis so that we can proceed. I'm not seeing the emojis. You can hear me loud and clear. Let me see 1 or 2 emojis so that we can proceed. Okay, I don't know if it's from my screen. If you can hear me, just drop yes in the chat box and fire them. If you can hear me, just drop yes, chat box. And oh, thank you. I can see AAA collection remaining clear. So we are going to go into the business of the day, which is what? The 7 costly land investment mistakes people make and how to avoid them. So I want to let you know that you are not here by happenstance. You are not here by chance or by law, but you are here because Providence has made it possible that you are going to be part of this training today. So let's move on. Okay. Why this webinar is important? Why this webinar is important? Most Nigerians buy land emotionally, they buy late, and they also buy without a strategy. Okay? So when you do this, you buy land, no strategy, buy emotionally. There are 3 things that can happen. You can either get trapped. Please, we can mute our mic if we are not speaking. You can either get trapped, you experience slow growth, or regret at the end of the day. So this is why it's very important you listen carefully and don't get distracted so that we can all learn together. So we have a slide before us that says what land banking really is. I don't know if anybody is on the call and your background is not noisy. You can unmute and tell us what is land banking based on the first paragraph you can see on the screen. Anyone can volunteer. Just unmute your mic and read that first paragraph. I'm waiting for a volunteer.
Okay, it's a strategic purchase of underdeveloped plots in emerging areas held over time and later sold at a premium.
Thank you so much, Oyekosola. So if you notice the keywords in that paragraph, it is the purchase of what? Underdeveloped, emerging, time, and selling at a premium. So when you're doing land banking, what you are looking for is to get emerging locations that have high prospects of turning into big cities. Then you buy up, you hold for some time, and sold at a premium. So ladies and gentlemen, land banking is what? Buying tomorrow at yesterday's price. And for you to do that, your purchase has to be strategic. It has to be in an emerging location, and you have to be patient. Instead, time is money. The real definition of time is money is in land banking, because when you are doing land banking, you have to be able to be patient, to wait for at least 3 to 10 years to get any meaningful return from your investment. In fact, the longer time you can wait, the higher it is that your return is going to be. I have an example here that says Lekki Phase 1 in Lagos, Nigeria used to be 2 million naira some years ago, but currently, if you don't have 450 million naira and above, you cannot get a plot of land in Lekki Phase 1. So what really happened, those smart investors discovered an emerging location, they bought it strategically, they waited patiently, and now people are talking about them. Please, you can mute your mic if you are not speaking, so that there will not be echo in the background. Thank you. So, the mistake number 1, expecting short-term returns. Real estate is not FCMG, fast-moving consumer goods. That's something you buy today and you sell tomorrow, hoping for a very fast return. No, real estate doesn't work that way. So some people go into real estate with the mindset that, oh, I'm going to buy this property today, and in the next 3 months, I'm going to sell it to make a lot of money. No, it doesn't work that way. In real estate, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. You need to be able to wait to see any meaningful return. And the second mistake is investing in the wrong location and missing title. They say that when you want to buy real estate, there are 3 things you consider. Number 1 is location, number 2 is location, and number 3 is location. So meaning that location is everything when it comes to investing in real estate. Location is very, very powerful. And some of the things you look out for in location is not the buildings, the electricity, the road network, no. Because by the time these things are available in that particular location, ladies and gentlemen, you have already missed out on land banking opportunity, because the price is already no longer attractive. What you look out for is to look out for future developments that are coming to that location. Then you find out the title of the property in that houses. Titles are the C of O, the Excision, Gazette, Governor Consent, RFO, or places like Abuja, they deal with right of occupancy. So you make sure those things are correct, the location is okay, and you go ahead. So what makes a good location? So these are some of the things you look out for when you are selecting a suitable location to practice your land banking opportunities. But unfortunately, most of the time, these facilities that were even mentioned in our infrastructure may be in developmental or proposed stages. So if you are not informed, you may not be aware that there is a road infrastructure that is actually going to pass through that place. If somebody said information is the key to transformation, if you are not informed, you will not be deformed, you will be deformed, you get. So sometimes these stuffs or these criteria we listed of a good location may not be available for an underdeveloped or emerging location. But based on information and understanding of government projects coming to that area, you have an idea of these things that are coming. Then another mistake is waiting for the location to fully develop before buying. I've been in the real estate for like the 2nd decade now, and starting out as a realtor, some of the challenges we encountered was when we take people to a location, the next thing you hear is the place is too far, this place is a bush, who is going to live here? But the mistake that we forget is that we are buying up these locations not because we want to go and put up a building inside that bush and start living there. No, but because we know that this place is going to develop with time. So if you are saying you are not buying now until it develops, yes, it's also a good choice, but you will be buying at a premium. Why waste to buy a property or a location for 20 million naira when you have an opportunity to buy it for 2 million naira, for instance? So some people don't have foresight. Once they see a place, what they will just be saying is bush, not forgetting that where they live, that's the house they were coming from, used to be a bush yesterday, because they say a village yesterday is a city tomorrow, and a city today used to be a village yesterday. Number 4, buying at peak prices. Peak prices means you are already buying at a price that is already expensive. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell us, anytime you hear about a particular location, there is hype about that location. I'm sorry, you are not buying at the most affordable price. For instance, 2013, 2014, the noise about Ibejuleki was so much that people were thinking, those that bought Ibejuleki at 900,000, 1 million naira, they felt they got a very fantastic deal. But some people have bought those places for 50,000 naira. So by the time it becomes public knowledge, just forget it. You're already buying at peak prices. So the best time to buy is when people are not even aware, that they don't even know something is happening in those locations. Immediately you start hearing the name of that location, Ibejuleki, Ekpe, this place, they are already paying premium prices of those locations. So mistake number 5 is buy only one plot. Anytime you are buying a property truly, some of my clients in Canada, I remember one of them, on a lighter note, one of my clients in Canada, when they came into the country, and I said, let me not mention his name so that for privacy sake, I said, sir, how is Calgary? How was Calgary? He said, listen, come again. I said, Calgary. He said, what did you say? I said, Calgary. He said, Hassan, it is not Calgary, it's Calgary. I said, oh. And I have a lot of clients in that location. I don't even know, the exact pronunciation of that place as a village boy. He said it's Calgary. I say, oh, I'm calling it Calgary. So anytime I have an opportunity to speak to my clients or prospects, I tell them, don't buy one plot. Even if it's a developed area, buying one plot is a sin. The reason is you have bought that property with the intention that you will make money in the future to sell it off. You don't want to live there. But you may be amazed at the level of development that will come to that location, and you will be so paid selling that property, and you wouldn't want to sell it again. So I always advise, even though you don't want to live in that location, buy 2, buy 3, buy 6. Why? We may wake up tomorrow and the place becomes so attractive that you don't want to sell because you just have one plot. But if you have multiple plots, multiple acres, you can sell few. The money you made from that sale is enough to build another property for you. That house you want to stay in, that money is enough to fund that project, okay? So don't buy one, don't buy one, buy a multiple. And I would like to use this example. And there's this saying that the rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. This is one of the examples. On my screen, I don't know, can anybody see what's on my screen? If you can see, please just unmute your mic and let me know. What can you see on my screen?
We can see this bag of rice and the small portion of it.
Thank you, Sir Samuel. You are very correct. We have a derica of rice. We have a bag of rice. So for those of us, the international audience, this is how we sell rice in smaller quantity. So if you cannot afford a bag, a wholesaler that has a bag will tear it open and measure small bit for you. So this is a retailing. This is retailing. The derica is retailing. So for instance, a derica of this rice will be like 1,500 naira. But do you know that you can buy this full bag for 60,000 naira? And this bag has about 64 dericas. So when you do the maths, 1,005 times 64 is 96,000 naira. You can see the poor man is paying an extra 36,000 naira anytime he consumes a bag of rice, whereas the rich man is enjoying a 36,000 naira discount for every bag. So meaning that if a poor man ends up, let's say, eating a bag of rice, consuming a bag of rice, 3 in a year, maybe it's a family of 7 or something. So, and they ended up consuming 3 bags of rice in a year. It means they have paid for about 4 bags buying via derica, whereas the rich man or the person buying wholesale has enjoyed a discount of extra 1 bag for free. So when you are buying property, always think of buying a multiple. This is an example. In this location, same location, 2 different properties. The first one on the left-hand side is selling in a plot, is selling per plot, while the one on the right-hand side is selling per acre. Now, the one selling per acre is saying that you can get it for 4.5 million naira. For those of us that don't know what an acre means 6 plots. Just like when you say a dozen, it's 12 pieces. But in land, when you say an acre, it means 6 plots. When you say hectare, it means 2.5 acres or 15 plots. So look at this golden acre on the right-hand side. They are telling you that you can buy an acre, which is 6 plots, for 6.5 million. Or if you buy at the pre-launch, you can even get an extra 2 million naira discount, which is 4.5 million. But on the other side, the left-hand side, you can see a property selling per plot for 2 million naira. Meaning, by the time 6 people come together or one person buys 6 plots from this property, you would have paid 12 million naira. Let me correct this. Hold on. This thing is 12 million. This is not 12,000. This should be 12 million naira. Because 2 million in 6 places is not, it's 12 million, okay? So you would have paid 12 million naira for the same property that somebody is getting or buying for okay, the picture went off. I'm trying to get it back. So for the same property that somebody is paying 4.5 million naira for, somebody is buying it for 12 million naira. What's the difference or the mistake that the other person did? He bought 1 plot. Anytime you are buying retail, you pay more. But when you are buying wholesale, you pay less. So mistake number 6, neglecting due diligence. Ladies and gentlemen, due diligence is an intelligent investigation into the status of not just the land you are buying, but the people involved in that property you want to buy. You want to buy a property from a company, you have to know who are the people running this company. Go and check, put their name and put scam. Just go to Google, put the name of the company, put scam in front. If there's any scam story about the company in the past, we are going to see it. Due diligence is beyond going to the land, stand there and say, wow, this is a people dry land. Due diligence is what an intelligent investigation that involves checking not just the location, but also the people involved in that property. And I would like to share a small story. There was a 30-acre property we wanted to buy in Eleko. 2021, my company wanted to acquire a property at Eleko. It's about, I think 180 plots, close to 200 plots. And we've sat with the family, we liked it, we've done the negotiation, we have drafted contracts, we're at the point of paying, and everything looks okay. But 180 plots of land is not something you can walk around, you know. So I just said, oh, why not let's call our drone guy to take an aerial view of the entire 200 plots so that we can even see from above how it looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, what we saw was shocking. About 1/3 of that land has been crossed by a swamp, a very big swamp that we cannot sandfill. And the Lagos State government will not even allow us to sandfill. Even when you do that, they will demolish the building in the future. We went back to the family, we showed them, they said, oh, they are not aware. Of course, they will tell you they are not aware, but they are aware. To cut the long story short, that was how we saved ourselves an extra 50 plots that we would have just paid for. And imagine 3 million naira in 50 places. That's how we save ourselves over 150 million naira from that transaction, because we told them we cannot buy canal. And it was reasonable and obvious. So due diligence is beyond just looking at the land and say, okay, oh, this is a dry land, or this is a little bit marshy, I'm okay with it. So due diligence is also very important. So one of the ways you do due diligence is you create time to inspect the property. Physical inspection will give you or will tell you 70% stories about that property. In fact, in the Southwest, I don't know anywhere in Nigeria, if you go on a property, no matter how thick that bush is, somebody takes you to a property and you stand there for just 5 minutes, some people will come to approach you and question you, what are you doing here, from where? No matter how thick that bush is. So anytime you go for inspection, this is a free bonus. Don't be in a hurry to leave the place. If there are trees there, just behave as if you want to pluck some mango or anything. Just hang around for like 30 minutes. I can bet you, if there's a problem on that land, you will start seeing people coming to challenge you. And they will challenge you in front of the person that brought you to that land. And from there, you will know that, oh, so this is what's happening. So due diligence is very, very important. You go there with your surveyor to also pick coordinates of the property and go to the land registry to check if that land is not a government land, if the land is free from government acquisition. Free from government acquisition means government does not have plan to use that place for coastal roads or for secondary school or for public school or something. So that's due diligence. Number 7, no clear investment strategy. A lot of people go into real estate without a good investment strategy. Anytime you are going into any business, you must have a reason why you are going to that business and at what point do you want to exit. For instance, if you are buying a property, why are you buying that property? When do you want to exit? Someone was telling me on, which day was that? On Thursday, I took someone to this property, a lady. She's also from outside the country, Canada. So, and she's looking at getting 30 acres. And I said, ma, why are you buying this property? And she said, I'm doing this for my children. I'm doing this for my children. I want by the time they are 30, they have something back home that if they decide to sell off, they are already multi-billionaires. So that's an investment strategy. The oldest is just 12 years now. The oldest of our kids is 12 years. So 18, by the time they are 30, which is 18, no, by the time they are 30, that's 18 years from now, the investment would have become billions of naira. It would have become what? Billions of naira. So, meaning at age 30, they can decide to cash out. So it's a strategy. She knows what she's looking for. So you too, you have to decide, this thing I'm buying, do I want to use it to fund my children's academics, or I want to use it as a retirement plan? Some people call land banking retirement plan. Yeah, because by the time you sell off in the next 15 to 20 years, it will look like you did blood money. And okay, don't worry. I think you'll see some projections as to why I said it will look like blood money. Okay, so this is a bonus number 7 on estimating your total costs, aka hidden charges. If you have bought some real estate in the past, you agree with me. The first question you will ask your agent as an experienced real estate person is, what are the hidden charges? So those hidden charges are actually not hidden because most sellers or experienced buyers are aware. Anytime you buy a property, you have to do documentation, which could be in the area of the survey, the deed, contract of sale, and you have to pay some levies like developmental levy and the rest. But most time when we are buying, what we are looking at is the cost of the land. We are not looking at the closing costs. If it's an agent, what is the commission for the agent? What is the documentation and all those things? So please, anytime you are buying a property, always ask, what are the other costs? We call them statutory costs. Statutory costs are the costs that come after buying a property. For instance, let me give you an instance. When you buy a new car, you have to do registration for the car. By registration for the car, I mean you have to do the vehicle license, roadworthiness, and all. So it's also, when you buy land, you have to properly document the transaction so that the title can be transferred to you legally. So that's what we mean as underestimating your costs or other costs. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some examples of some costs that may arise when you are buying real estate. Legal fees. The agent will say, my commission is 10% or 5%. Okay? Property registration and documentation. The only thing that confirms you are the owner of a property is when you get a deed of assignment and you register it in the proper land registry of that state. Then if you are into flipping is you buy an old house, you quickly repair it. So renovation costs, annual property taxes, estate service charges. If you are buying a house or a land in an estate, especially in developed estates, just know that every year we are going to be paying estate charges. Now, insurance has become a little bit mandatory, especially when we are dealing with buildings. You have to insure that building. So these are some of the other costs that are associated when buying property. But for land, it's mainly the documentation and developmental levy, especially when you are into land banking. So ladies and gentlemen, before Lekki became a city, it used to be a bush. Those who saw tomorrow own it today. Welcome to the land banking class. And we said the land is very powerful because it is the foundation of all wealth. It is finite. They are not making it anymore. It appreciates naturally. it can be leased, developed, or refinanced. I was in my living room, I think before Christmas last year, and somebody was offering to give me a loan of 1.7 billion naira. And my friend was like, what do you want to give him as collateral? And I said, my property at Eleko is land. The land has become so valuable that people are willing to, most banks or private lenders or financial institutions, they don't like using land as collateral. They prefer ready-made building. Excuse me. But this is a bare land that people were ready. Excuse me. People were ready to drop about 1.7 B. Sorry, please. Okay. People were ready to drop about 1.7 B because they know that property is valuable. So one of the advantages of real estate is you can collateralize it. Okay, then it is first step to financial freedom. Land banking is what? Buying property in underdeveloped location and selling at a higher price when the place has developed. Ladies and gentlemen, I showed you earlier that a plot of land in Lekki Phase 1 used to be around 2 million naira, but currently, if you don't have 450 million naira and above, you may not have the opportunity to own that property in that location. Now, the same indicators are now happening in the corridor called Obafemi Owode in Ogun State, because there are road dualization, industrial clusters happening in that location. In fact, if you are moving from Lagos to Ibadan, if you look at your left-hand side, right-hand side, what you'll be seeing are companies, factories, industries owned by Chinese, Lebanese, Indians, and some Nigerians. Ogun State is an industrial southwest hub, okay? And Obafemi Owode is one of the locations that's enjoying that rapid development in Ogun State. So when you're looking to buy property, this is how you go about it. You do your groundwork, which is the due diligence. You determine the owners, then you take up ownership. Use leverage. Leverage means coming together as a group to buy large expanse of land if you don't have the capacity to do it alone, or buying in bulk. That's leverage. Then wait for the developmental timeline and you are good to go. So, how much is a plot of land in Mowe? Please, I would like, if you have an answer to this, please, you can drop it in the chat room. If you have an answer to this, I would really appreciate you can drop it in the chat room. If you know, as of today, the cost of a plot of land in Mowe, please help me drop it in the chat room. Yeah, I would really like to hear from you. If you know or you have an idea. Mowe is a place in Ogun State and it's close to this location that we are talking about. And how much do you think they are selling a plot in that houses now? If I get just one comment, we can continue. I just want to be sure that we are all I'm audible and people can hear me. So just one comment in the chat room will proceed. How much is a plot of land in Mowe today? Or you can mute your mic and just mention it. How much is a plot of land in Mowe today? Is anybody on the call? It looks like I'm the only one here. Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you, Mr. Shegun. Thank you, Mr. Sambu. Thank you so much. So let's make progress. So a plot in Mowe today is between 15 to 20 million naira. If you need a plot that is accessible, that you need to build. So take notes, it's between 15 to 20 million naira. Now, I'm introducing to you Golden Acres, which is the model to property ownership in a grand style without breaking the bank. The location is Obafemi Owode in Ogun State. This is one of the fastest growing locations in Ogun State right now. And you will not be aware or you will not know because what's happening there now is what I would call private placement. Private placement is what happens in shares before it goes to public, before initial public offer. There will be private placement by the friends, those who knows what is coming, and they will buy up everywhere and wait. By the time it gets to IPO, those people have already cashed out, maybe ×3 of their investment. So what I'm telling you is, what's happening now is private placement. People don't even know that something is happening in Obafemi Owode. At least last week, no, not last week, this week. Last week I was there twice. This week I'm just coming from Ogun State. On Thursday, I took another person there. Why? Because people are silently and quietly acquiring wealth. No, they call it strategic positioning. People are positioning strategically and waiting for the boom to sell up. So if you are hearing about Femi Owode for the first time today, don't feel bad. You are on the right track. It's new. It's something new. The noise is not much yet. Okay? So what we are doing is coming together, buy up large extents of land in Obafemi Owode to enjoy wholesale pricing. Why will you buy for 2 million naira for a plot when you can get a whole acre for 6.5 million naira? Now, these are some of the things happening in Ogun State. And if you also, after this call, you can go online and put, what's happening in Ogun State. You see so many things. In fact, I read the statistics that said in the past 5 years, Ogun State's infrastructural investment has increased by over 300%. Dangote is already there. Not just for the cement, is also doing a deep dry seaport, dry seaports or dry ports. Quietly, people are there positioning in Ogun State. Now, I gave this example earlier that some companies are already selling a plot for 1.5 million, 1.2 million. Some are selling for 2 million naira in this same location. But what we are saying is if you come with us at Golden Acres, you can get it for 6.5 million naira. In fact, the pre-launch is currently on. You can get it for 4.5 million naira from now till the end of this month. From 1st of March 2026, the price will be 6.5 million naira when we launch officially. By that time, some of our clients who have already bought now have already made an extra 2 million naira for every acre they acquire. Imagine somebody that bought 30 acres. She has already made 2 million naira in 30 places. That is how wealth is created silently with land banking. So we have done a lot of talking. It's time to round up, but we will not round up without giving us an idea of the project. Since we cannot be there physically now, before we get there physically, let me just show us what I'm talking about. So the next thing you are going to be saying is a video of the site. In fact, this site is not just any site or location, but a coalition of about 27 developers under the leadership of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel that called us, we the mentees, that, ladies and gentlemen, we have done our research. This is the next place that is going to boom. And we came together and acquired about 10,000 acres in that location. So listen to this.
This is Assad, Tijani Assad, and it's one of us, it's one of the developers here. And anything you are buying from them, you are buying from us. If you have any problem with any of them, my name is Olumide Emmanuel, I approve the business. Come to me and I will take care of them for you. You have nothing to worry about. So, because many of you are saying, we want to see the Lac Feng, we want to see the... Now, land with this, we are talking of 8,000 acres. Now, small, before you reach there. So God bless you all. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, right here at the Conclave City Coalition. And I'm here with one of the developers that are part of the Conclave City Coalition. And anytime you patronize them, you are patronizing the Conclave City Coalition. Introduce yourself and let people know what they can get from you.
My name is Dr. Hassan Ismail. We're right here at Obafemi Owode, one of the largest developments happening in Ogun State. If you are looking to invest in property that will give you comfort, peace of mind, talk to us and you are on the right way. Thank you.
We are waiting.
So you hear what Dr. Olumide said. He said, we are waiting. So don't be among the people that will get information and they will not act on it, because he said, knowledge is power, information is power, but it is the application of that knowledge or information that is the real power. If you spend your 1 hour here and just leave, you didn't take action, nothing changes. It's only the word is for the action taker. So this is just a projection, a very, very realistic projection. So what we are saying here is, let's say you are going for 5 acres, for instance. If you multiply 4.5 million in 5 places, it's about 22.5 million. But do you know that that 5 acres, if you go to the companies that are selling 42 million, it's already 60 million naira. So we are saying you can even sell it at 42.5 million naira. Within a month or two, you have already made money. But if you can wait for 5 years, which is the last column, this your 22 million naira investment is going to be worth at least 135 million naira. That's what this table means. Or if you are the one that like doing something big, and you say, okay, I'm going for 50 acres. Look at that 50 acres. 50 acres is about 225 million naira. And we said it will be worth at least 810 million naira in the next 5 years. These are realistic projections. Very, very realistic. Or you say, okay, I want to become an Udogu, the chairman. I need 500 acres at 2.25 billion naira. That 2.25 billion naira will be worth at least 13.5 billion naira. So this is how wealth is created. And the interesting thing is that you are not going to be wetting the land. You are not going to be, all you need to do is to make sure at least once in a year, you just clear the place so that you not be bushy. Once in a year, just, clear the place and make it look good so that people will know you are there, okay? And the good thing is, since you are within an estate, we will provide the perimeter fencing, the gatehouse, the everything. Nobody can encroach on your property, even if you are not in the country. For those of us in the UK, Canada, and which other country? Italy. Some people in Italy and Germany, Nigerians, they also do a lot of land banking. Okay? So it's secure. Now, how do you get started? As I said, anytime you want to buy a property, a physical inspection is the starting point for due diligence. You may say, oh, I'm not in the country, 2 weeks ago, we had a lady that bought some acres from Dubai. She's in Dubai and she bought the property. What did she do? She sent her dad. And her dad went back and gave a very powerful testimony. And she did 2 acres. Why? Because she did an inspection via somebody she trusted. So even if you are not in the country, like somebody that you trust so much, let them come to the site, take a look at the location, then you decide the quantity you want to purchase, you fill the form, make payments, collect your documents, and start smiling, waiting for the money to start to roll in. So ladies and gentlemen, the wet land or the land banking framework involves you buy early, you buy right, buy plenty, and you wait patiently. So Golden Acres inspection is going to happen 28th of this month. 28th of this month is next Saturday. And we are going to be departing by 8 o'clock at a mobile fueling station. Fueling station, some people say it's filling station, but we will say it's fueling station. Fueling station, okay? So we are going to be departing at Bega by that total petrol station, and your commitment fee, if you want to be part of it, is 50,000 naira only. Yeah, it's 50,000 naira only. So what this will do for you, this is what it will do for you. It will give you transportation from that filling station back to the filling station. Your lunch is covered. You are going to get more guided information on what is happening. For instance, I did not tell you about the Abuja-Lagos superhighway that is going to have a train all the way from Abuja to Lagos. That train is going to get from Abuja to Lagos within 3 hours. That train moves to a speed of about 250 to 300 kilometers per hour. That train. They say that train, by the time it's moving to get to a point, it will be flying. It will be flying, gliding. You know, when we say some of these things, when we say, some people will say, it will not happen. Just like when we wanted to buy our Eleko property, and we said one of the reasons we are buying it is because from our research and due diligence, we realize that there's going to be a coastal route that is going to pass in front of that property. So people say, that road will not happen because it has been there in the master plan for 20 years. They will not do it. In 30 years, they will not do it. But ladies and gentlemen, we wake up and 3 years later, the land is facing the coastal road. Land that we're begging people to buy for 5 million, 7 million. Now we are selling it 25 million naira within 3 years. So some people are just blessed to have information. Information is the key to transformation. Info, love info. You fly with information. So you also get the physical application form. So by the time you decide you want to buy 20, 30, 40, 50 acres, we already have a form. You just fill it and get started. And you also get a free gift for everybody that is part of it. You also get the replay of this webinar, and we'll give you the PDF, a full PDF. That's what that 50,000 is what it does for you. Okay. Now the reason is, in the past, we have organized inspections. We had over 120 people that registered for that, and we decided to get 4 coastal buses, 30 people per bus. We got there at this location. We're supposed to leave 8 o'clock. As at 11 a.m., we did not even have 30 people. We wasted money for 3 coastal buses. And you know why that happened? Because people did not commit. They didn't commit. It was free. And free things are not really cherished. So we no longer want to be wasting our money taking people to sites and they don't turn up. But I can bet you, immediately we change this model that you have to, since 7 people are already calling me, where are you? 7 people are already at the pickup point. No more lateness, because if you don't get there by 8, we leave you and your money is not refundable. Your 50K is not refundable because we paid for the buses. You don't refund. So as at 7, you see people are already calling us. Where is the boss? We are here. So because what? There was a commitment. So ladies and gentlemen, for those of us on this call, you want to be part of this, just pay 20,000 naira, and you still get everything listed here. You still get everything listed here for just 20,000 naira. I just want to be sure that if somebody fill the application form or the registration form, the person is going to turn up because the person has committed his or her money. So at this point, I will invite Emmanuel or Oyi, you can drop that registration link for people who would like to take action, because information without action is nothing. Nothing happens until you do something. So the link for the booking of the inspection will be shared, and on that link, you see the account number to pay to. So congratulations, you are now informed to be transformed. And I think at this point, I would like to take our questions. So if you have questions, this is the point. You unmute your mic and you ask your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and I don't take it for granted. So questions, go ahead. Okay, so for those of us that may want to send a private message, please, only if you're on the call, drop the office address, the phone number, and everything so that people can reach out. If you want any other questions that you may not want to ask on the call, you can go ahead, send a message or send us a call, then we'll attend to it. So if you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box or you can mute your mic and go ahead. We'll spend our 1 hour. We just have 1 minute to go. And any question? So if you check the room, you will see the phone number you can contact. That number is on WhatsApp. And yeah, you can drop a message on WhatsApp for that number. So if you have any question, I think we don't have question. It seems what we have said is very clear and understood. Before you leave, you can also take, okay, I can see some people are sending me direct message that they are looking for the link. That link I mentioned. Okay, Emmanuel, please drop the link in the room for those of us who would like to book for inspection. So we'll be closing this room in the next 3 minutes. If you have a question, but just hold on to get that that link. That link will be dropped shortly. Yeah, so that's the link. That's the link. Then you will also be seeing the office address and shortly. For those of us who would like to come to the office, you are very, very much welcome. We would love to see you at our office in Lakwe Gulf, just by that Domino Pizza. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So the form has been dropped and the phone numbers are also in the group. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I yield the mic to Owen if she has one or two things to add.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Azan, for this section. And thank you everyone for joining us. So this section was recorded and we're going to send further information on the community chat. If you're not there, maybe we're going to send the link right now to our community. So we're going to send further information there. So please use the form or use the phone number there if you want to book for inspection or you have questions or clarity on anything. So please use the number. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful night or day. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you once more, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Samuel, Shego, Triple E. I will say unimaginable. Oga, I greet you, sir. J. Latek, Omotayo, everybody, thank you for being part of this this webinar. Thank you so much. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much. Bye.
You.
Me,